Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. How are you? I hope you're good. I just want to come on here. Welcome to YouTube. Like, comment, share. So I want to keep going forward in my series of rising signs, and I will try and briefly kind of explain where I'm concentrating and how to do this. I probably should do an intro and just slap in the beginning of these videos, and since this is my third of 12, I may just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm up to Gemini risings because I'm going the way of the zodiac. So it goes okay. It goes Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So that's the order that I'm going in. Aries is the youngest one. Pisces is the most advanced because it's literally a list. So the way that a natal chart works is your rising sign. So when you are listening to astrology, even if you're reading for your daily horoscope, if you're using your sun sign. But that being said, even daily horoscopes that you read in the newspaper are based off of your rising sign. They can say, you'll hear them say it, sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, fucking North Node. It don't matter. It is always going to be based off of a rising sign. And the reason why is because it is the only way to try and predict the shit accurately. Because your rising sign, which is perspective on the horizon, where the sun is exactly at in the place that you were born at the time that you were born, and that kicks off your houses. It's the only thing that kicks off houses. Does that mean that you can't listen to astrology or anything like that if you don't know what time you were born? No, that's not. But just know that you have to kind of like, if you pay attention, you'll actually probably be able to figure out what rising sign you are based off of the theme. But it's just the most accurate. It is based off the houses because each one of these houses has a theme. I want to preface this by saying I am not an astrologer, but I am an enthusiast who has studied this shit for years because I'm fascinated by astrology. And if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, I believe astrology, the planets, where they are, how they are, is the backbone of everything, including tarot. So it, to me, is a natural connection to do astrology and tarot together, which is why I had the idea to do this here. So it's always based off of a rising because it's just the easiest way, because planets can appear anywhere on your chart. You can have your sun in anywhere from the first house through the 12th house. It don't matter. But it's based off of your rising sign because it's just the most accurate. It's like, because the theme is the themes are there. So Gemini risings, like I said, your sun sign can be anything, your moon sign can be anything, it don't matter. But Gemini risings, where I'm concentrating on what your message is for what to look for, what themes, shit like that, I'm basing it off of the planets we have in Pisces, the planets we have in Aries, Taurus, and then of course Gemini right now has the moon. So I'm trying to think of the best way. So the moon represents the mother. Saturn represents the father. So there's going to be themes here that pop up of either you being a mother, or you having some issues with your mom, some shit like that, but having some mothering is an issue. Fathering is an issue in terms of just themes that are popping up. When I say that, it could be shit. It could be glorious. It could be that all the shit is amazing and wonderful, but it's just going to be a recurring theme for you in spring. Uranus. So Gemini, hold up. Let's go back. First house is the house of self. Where your rising sign is, kicks that off. Your rising sign's always in your first house, period, end of subject. I'm also basing this off of whole sign. So like, I don't like, I think it's Placidus that has like partial shit and stuff. Like, for instance, I'm a Virgo rising 28 degrees. If I listen to Western astrology, it's like both my first and my 12th house are both Virgo. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like in Virgo for 2 goddamn seconds. So basically I'm a Virgo rising, ergo my first house is all Virgo, which also means that my 12th house is all Leo. That's how I do it. So that's how I'm basing it. If you don't like it, that's cool. There's other people who do some shit. Go for it. You don't have to listen. I'm not going to force you. Let's see if this might hold true for people, like what themes to expect. Gemini risings, you got the moon in your sign right now. I think that's about to change. I refuse to refresh this from AstroSeek because the site's been a fucking nightmare. All right. So your first house itself has your moon, so you may be thinking about your mom, you may be thinking about becoming a mom, you may be thinking about mothering in general. Your 12th house, oh shit, I was telling you the houses first. So first house is a house of self. Second house is a house of possessions and other people's money. The third house is the house of communication. Fourth house is home and family. Fifth house is creativity, pleasure. The sixth house is work and health. The seventh house is relationships. The eighth house is transformations. Ninth house is philosophy, higher learning. 10th house is career and public image. 11th house is hopes and goals. The 12th house is spirituality and secrets. So people will talk about synastry having to do 12th house, 8th house. Those houses are notoriously difficult to deal with if you have planets in either one of those, as well as synastry with other people, meaning their planets line up in your 8th, 12th house and vice versa. It's an issue because think of the 12th house as spirituality. These are things that are hidden. This is your blind spot. If you got planets, especially personal planets in the 12th house, you're going to fucking struggle. Because it's like themes that you can't grasp. It's hidden. It's, again, your blind spot. And then the 8th house is the house of, think of it as the house of occult. These are your taboo things. These are like things that are in the dark coming to light, but in an unexpected way. So these are inheritance. These are, again, sex. Things that are taboo, things that are occult, stuff like that. So that's why those two kind of like reflect each other, but are different. So just think of it like that. I say that because the 12th house will come up here. Because Geminis, your Gemini rising is your first house. So then going backwards, because I'm really concentrating on Aries and Pisces, because that's where we have a fucking shit ton of planets right now. So the spring, those are going to be big themes for you. Taurus is your 12th house. So your house of spirituality and secrets has Uranus in it. So Uranus is the planet of rebellion. So the thing that is stuck is a rebellion of some sort is in your blind spots. And that could also be like when people start talking about like Uranus being in Gemini. This is when Uranus pops back into Gemini, your first house of self, like, dude, I don't know, you're probably going to buck systems and just like completely do like a complete 180 on yourself. That would be my guess. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not an astrologer, but this is my understanding and the cards will tell me a lot more. Okay, so that's your 12th house. So your 11th house, which is where all the shit is. So Aries is your 11th house, which is the house of hopes and goals. So, okay, so spirituality, hidden aspects, things beyond control. Yeah, that's what 12th house. I'm trying to read it upside down and my writing's atrocious. So that's your 12th house. So spirituality, hidden aspects, and things beyond control. Remember, it's your fucking blind spot. It remains hidden kind of thing. So then hopes and goals, which is where Aries has Neptune, which is illusion. The sun, which is like your ego. That's like what your highest good is striving for. Saturn, which is the old man, the planet of lessons and karma. Venus, what you love. And Chiron, the wounded healer. That shit's all in your 11th house of hopes, desires, friendships, social groups. So there's illusion there. There is, I would say, your ego. So your ego, which is lessons. Like I said, you're thinking about it with like, you may want to be a mother with this moon in Gemini. You may have even very quickly came to that. So there's a hopes and dreams. So maybe you're looking for a partner with Saturn being in your 11th house and love being in your 11th. So hopes and your wounded healer. So it's like, you really want a family. You want family. You want things like that. Like that seems to be kind of a theme. More than like if you're a Gemini man, a Gemini rising man, you may be thinking about who's going to be a good partner for you. And your hopes and dreams is to become a father with Saturn there. Like, think of it like that. These things like, the cards will give me more info, but I just want to give you a background of me as a non-astrologer, but somebody who's an enthusiast who spends a lot of time, like, this is what this looks like to me. And then so what is that? 1, 12, 11, 10. Okay, so 10th house. Pisces is the other planet or the other house, that has 3 planets in it, which is right next to Aries. So North Node, which is purpose. The 10th house is career and public image. So career, public image, why can't I read my own fucking writing? That's so sad. Representation and accountability. Okay. So representation, accountability, public image, and career. So there's North Node. So that's a purpose. Think of like your sun, to me, like a sun and North Node kind of work together because your North Node is like your purpose here. And then your ego is like your highest self. So these things kind of want to work together to move forward. That's how I view it. Mercury, which is communication, and then your Mars is there as well. So that is your mode of operation. So communicating, talking about, yeah, it's like you're going through a whole fucking, dude, Gemini risings, you guys are really fucking going through it. You're thinking about family, you're thinking about career, you're thinking about a bunch of shit. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you really, truly, honestly are. But not knowing how to tackle it with Uranus in your 12th house seems to be it. Like you want these things, but you don't know how to make them real, would be my guess. All right. Let's pull some tarot and find out. If this seems to be a theme for you, Gemini risings, please let me know, because if I'm wrong, and we can fix it. But the tarot will still pop up. Spirit team, my spirit guide, my highest self, as well as the divine. What does this what do our Gemini risings need to know in regards to all these planets in Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and Gemini? What do they need to know? But also, I can tell you this, with Jupiter in Cancer, which is now your second house, you've had a lot of luck or expansion around other people's money. So, like, if you've been collecting other people's money, i.e., you have your own business, or if you've been working with another business, like, you've done very well. I do see that. All right. What do I need to know? Isolation, rejection, boundaries, chaos. Yeah, I believe it. Sorry, I have a tendency to talk to the cards. Anybody who's watched me for a while kind of knows that. Dude, when I pull cards for myself, I'm sure I fucking bet. I'm fucking good like that. Two-Faced. Okay, so this is my second time recording this because I actually fucked up the houses. I went the wrong way, so I had to redo this. So two-faced is what people call Geminis. So this to me is probably like dual meaning. Most things don't have like a one linear meaning. There's usually dual. So if I see two-faced popping up here, and again, this is the second time this popped up for me, this is telling me Gemini. So isolation, rejected, left alone. Time, delayed, procrastination, too busy. This is a double life, cheater, backstabber. That could also, it doesn't necessarily mean that's you. This could have also happened to you. And then we remember, this is like a generic message. So you can take this and like, you gotta take it and see if it somehow, even though I may be like Geminis, you were cheating, but maybe you're a Gemini rising who had a cheater for a significant other. Like, take it like that. Cross watchers, I think is what they fucking call it. All right, boundaries, disrespectful, enough is enough, defend yourself, and chaos, upheaval, disaster, and downfall. Holy shit, yeah. So like I said, you're going through it. Old exes, old ways with the clingy. All right. Like I said, I think that you're contemplating like changes, things that you want. I think I said in the beginning, like you're probably doing a complete overhaul. Whatever this shit is, it's not working for you. Established falls under this clingy. And then daydreaming, so isolation, so narcissist and daydreaming popped out under this isolation, rejected, left alone, self-inflicted. So double life, cheater, backstabber, daydreaming, head in the clouds, delusion, hopes and dreams. Okay. Remember what I was saying about the 11th house? Literally, the 11th house is a house of hopes and goals. Here you go. So narcissism. Now let's go back to this 11th house. So then, yeah, all right. So then you may have been dealing, Gemini risings, with a narcissist. Somebody who promised you a bunch of shit with a Neptune there. It was an illusion. And love and wounded healer. Oh, okay. Head in the clouds, delusion, hopes and dreams, egotistical, opportunist, and fragile. Over here, nurturing, mentorship, wisdom, giving back, Archangel Michael, protection, prevented from harm, and divine intervention. All right. So somebody needed to be exposed for you to know who they were so that you could move forward. Why is he established here? Smell the roses, consequences. Okay. Bad choices, games, mixed signals. Slow down, take some you time, get out in nature. All right. So somebody was like fucking, like somebody whirlwind in here with this chaos and they just were a fucking liar. I mean, that's just honestly what it is. Yep. Hopeful. Here we go. Hopeful. Recharge. So inspired, optimistic success, breathe, let go, and clear your mind. So you were protected from a man is what that one boils down to. Joy, happiness, and healing. Toxic. So Gemini, whoever you were dealing with is toxic, but it could be that you could be the toxic one. I'm just going to throw it out there. But if it wasn't you, then your significant other who you probably just split with is toxic. So drama, arguments, incompatible, double life. Cheetah, backstabber, magnet. All right, so now that we've got this mess out here, what's going on? No, and I just looked at the time; it was 1:43, and that's analog for "I love you." Being important to somebody. Because as soon as I looked at the time, I saw that an avoidant. So there's an avoidant involved here, somebody who may have even said that they love you or you think that they love you kind of thing, but they're just not coming through in that fashion. Get it? Understood. And then heartbreak was on the bottom of the deck. Three of Swords. All right. My spirit team, my spirit guide, as well as my high self and the divine. What do our Gemini risings need to know in regards to this and this? What do our Gemini risings need to know? Holding back, air energy, holding back on working hard, skill development too, lost way. Okay, so the lost way Virgo energy is popping up over the smell the roses, slow down, take some you time. So you were giving too much to a situation um because you were, my gut tells me, because you were hoping that if you poured into it, if this was an avoidant, you thought they'd come back around, and they probably did not. Okay, no victory. So try as you might, it did not work. I'm so sorry. And then over this working hard is inspiration and passion. So that's also Aries energy. I say Aries because I'm looking at this here. So inspiration for working hard. And then, like I said, that's your hopes and goals, illusion. All right. So, like I said, something had to be stripped away and had to be exposed so that way you didn't go down a path that you weren't supposed to. Bad choices. It's also looking at that, lost your way, bad choices. All right. Too many, don't like it. So lack of commitment and insecurity over a lack of commitment. And then here we go, incompletion over working hard, earth energy as well. So remember, hidden, incompletion. Taurus with Uranus in your 12th house, that shit is hidden. So again, what did I say? You're probably trying to figure out how to revamp your fucking life, and you have no idea how to do it with Uranus, the planet of like rebellion and war, in your 12th house, something that's hidden, skill development here, and then an inspiration. Sneakiness popped out over this non-victory, cheating. And then popping over here, so inspiration 101 could be important to somebody. Inspiration being a heavy load that cannot be put down, meaning it's like having a family was like the big driving force, I feel, is it? Love, family, the whole nine. Yep. Being defensive to a lack of teamwork. So you were moving forward. Yeah, you didn't want to be like on your own kind of thing. You may find yourself on your fucking own going, this is not what I wanted. I wanted that. And I want a family. I want a husband. I want to be a husband, whatever the case may be, but being defensive to it. So this had to be exposed for you. September may have been when you found out about this. I'm staring at the 9-7. So that's very possible. Yep, here we go, Taurus energy. Being defensive to abundance, a lack of teamwork. Like I said, what did I say? You're thinking about something. You're thinking about yourself. I'm probably wanting to be a parent. Popping over here, transformation 313 could be important to somebody. Transformation. So if you were wanted a family and if you were with the wrong person, then this needed to be exposed so that way you could move forward to find the actual person you're supposed to be with. That's how I would take that. Dude, 33 could be important. 3-3, 3-13. A lot of shit happened to you in the month of March. Heartbreak. You may have even lost a child. It's something hidden. Pisces energy. But remember, Pisces is your 11th house. So popping over her is a betrayal of an empress. Okay, so you were doing too much. It would be my guess. Like I said, because you're holding this up because of the illusion. So this needed to be exposed in order for you to understand that you're doing too much, not calling judgments on. So you did not call judgment on this, whatever, this cheating. And that seems to be the issue. So now it's like you're stuck and you have to do it. Here we go. Sneakiness, Pisces, sneakiness of illusion. What's done in the dark will come to light. So I just want to see, just out of curiosity. So then Capricorn is your 8th house. There's nothing in Capricorn, but I think something was just in Capricorn. Illusion, sneakiness. Yeah, something coming to light. Lost your way. Juggling chaos, but barely. So you're trying just too much to make it happen, giving and receiving inequally. Yep. King of Wands, he who can't be tied down. So it was like you had this hope for it, but it just didn't happen. And then all this shit had to be exposed in order for you to move forward. Like I said, March was significant for you the first week and the second week. May have been when you said, fuck this shit. Restless over a revoked love offer. So whoever this cheater was probably the one who finally had to call it a day. More than likely. Here we go, working hard, analyzing, even be trying to figure out what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. That's this individual's problem. Here you go. Something that's hidden, avoidant. So they probably were promising you shit and just never came through with it. Hidden. See? This is bottom of the deck. She gets what she wants. Curiosity. And then right below that is air energy. So it was hidden like this. Like I said, there's like a lot of shit that came to light for you. And it had to come to light for you. You've had some hell of a time with some shit in Taurus. I can tell you that because that is your house of hidden. Anytime that there's anything that's saying like, and depending upon what fucking personal plans you have, because I don't know. I don't know what you have for planets in this. I'm just basing this off of a rising sign, and I'm running under the assumption that the shit is empty because I can't guess. But yeah, you've been going through it. Somebody's out there has been going through it with this shit in fucking Taurus. Because that's your house of hidden stuff. It's like all this stuff was, yep, King of Pentacles upright. May have even lost your job. That's very possible too. Yep, abundant. Like you either lost a child, lost a pet. Like there's a lot of loss here. Sudden upheaval, disaster, tower falling of a revoked love offer from a king pentacles. So somebody who has money but no love here. But again, there's an avoidant. Here you go. Lack of progress. Capricorn energy too. So you probably lost a child, and I'm so very sorry if that indeed happened to you. But it's like a shadow sign. And you could have. But it also could have been like maybe you lost your job and maybe you lost a promotion or something like that. It doesn't just have to be pregnancy, but a 3 of Wands in reverse is talking of a loss of something that you wanted. It's a loss of progress. And then obsession, addicted, chain too. Bottom of the deck wanting to come out of war weariness. And then crossing over here is lack of a harvest. So again, I have to say this is family. This is really screaming family, wanting to start a family, wanting to be part of a family and not having that come into fruition would be my guess. But again, it could actually pivot and it could actually be abundance with the 7 of Pentacles. And faith, lack of harvest on hope and faith, Aquarius energy here. And as of right now, Pluto's in Aquarius, which is transformation. And Pluto for you would be, okay, so 9th house is going to be philosophy and higher learning and Pluto, so transformation. And then with that is learning, travel. I think I said before that you might even be contemplating leaving, going home, going somewhere. Travel, philosophy, and just higher learning. So education. Might be trying to go back to school or something like that. There you go. Happiness, Leo energy here, Taurus, which is higher learning, fucking higher learning, but also it's institutions, it's things, it's happiness with conformity, it's happiness with society and its rules, and then healing, transitioning. I feel as though you're leaving to find happiness. You may even be contemplating leaving and moving to, like I said, find your happily ever after. Might be a job, might be a career. I feel as though that's what's happening. Yeah, here you go over this Queen of Pentacles upright. So that's head of household, but also that looks like she's cradling a belly. So I think a big theme for you in shattered dreams. What did I say? I even referred to this as shattered dreams. There you go. You're not getting what it is that you want and you're ready to move on. And I think that it's going to actually involve a physical move. You're probably contemplating changing areas. Good for you. Searching for the truth of anxiety over us. So you may even something keeping you up at night, nightmares, ruthless over repeating cycles. So you may be an avoidant who may be looking, you may be the kind of person who thinks that like a new city will bring in new change kind of thing. My eye is twitching. So there's something along those lines, like you're ruthless, like you won't even think twice about picking up and fucking leaving. And that's what's happening here. Here you go. 2 of Cups in reverse, might even be going through a divorce, but you're showing here upright. So you're looking at it lovingly. Like I said, and again, a lot of people look at that as almost like a child. Family is a fucking theme for you, lacking foundation. So yeah, kind of look towards that and expect that. I'm zeroing in on March, really, honestly, is what I'm seeing here. Like I said, the first and second week may have been significant for you in terms of figuring this shit out. February here as well. But yeah, sound off and let me know. Hopefully this will help you. Let me know. Pop in the comments. Let me know what's going on because that way I can kind of tailor it and figure out how off I was, what I need to pay attention to. But yeah, happy Wednesday, guys, and good luck in Gemini Risings. Just breathe. Take everything one day at a time. And until next time, bye.